want to sit down?
They're both so cute. Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to react to some clips of Jenna Ortega and Winona Ryder. Maybe along the way we'll get some clues into Winona Ryder's personality type.
Which Disney princess did Jenna voice for Elena of Avalor?
That's an impossible question. I'll answer that for you.
Did you see the way Jenna just jumped in to manage that situation?
That's an impossible question. I'll answer that for you.
It's almost like she was trying to take care of Winona.
I mean, I was so excited.
See, she's already taking care of Winona. Like,
yeah,
okay,
that's interesting.
I'll take care of you.
I think you were better off.
I think you've
done it. You've done okay.
This is what's interesting. I learned that from this incredible astrologist.
And do you see how quickly Winona just starts bringing up her personal experiences or like things that she's learned? Also, how she felt about those experiences is so vivid for her.
And I was so excited. I thought everyone was going to be there. Nobody was there.
Sometimes it is, but sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't.
Yeah.
It's quite isolating at times.
You see Jenna next to Winona, and you can see the clear difference in how much more interactive she is.
Aware of outside.
It was a television show, but you were a grown woman.
Look at Winona Ryder. She's been in entertainment for like, I think when Jenna was born.
And she's like really scared to actually put her ideas and thinking outside.
I've got 3 chinchillas. So I guess maybe my hobby is trying to get my chinchillas to come out of their cage and
Do you ever wonder what she's feeling at every moment? Because she's very clear.
we've talked about the Safdie brothers. Actually, now that I'm saying this, I don't think it's really specific roles and more so
it's more
people.
the people. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. We have like the same taste
and
you know.
yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for watching. That's all we have. Be sure to go watch our movie, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Oh,
Wow,
gosh,
that's
so
so
cute.
interesting though. Like this one I think is very clear. You can see the outside awareness from Jenna is so different from Winona.
They're both really authentic, but Winona just can't help sort of like spilling out with her authenticity.
Yeah.
Whereas Jenna's got that authenticity, but there's still a little bit of like,
It's
oh yeah,
managed.
there's still professionalism here. I need to be composed in a certain way.
You know, I mean, you can be talking to like an absolute hero, and if your feet are killing you, it really like messes up the experience.
Yes, it does. You know, it's so true because you're so
Wow,
in your head.
Winona's type is just all over the place. It's so funny.
Well, the next question I have is, what is your favorite red carpet look?
It was just super detailed, and I was super comfortable.
Even when she said the dress, it was so amazing. It was so detailed,
Super detailed.
and comfortable.
But no details.
No details. And then she goes, you know, the interesting thing is, and then she starts going off into the idea that
If your feet hurt,
yeah.
the experience is horrible.
Yeah.
And then we're like, but are we still talking about your favorite outfit, or are we moving on to something else?
What's the best career advice you've ever received?
Don't do it just because it's a paycheck. I very specifically remember being offered a movie. I used to think especially when I was a teenager, that I remember being told, you don't have to do that. Like, you know, that was like.
This is kind of like a really good example of NE and SI are trying to compare and contrast. I remember I used to think it was like this. After this experience, I learned that you could be free from blah, 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 blah. There's something about, you know, like introverted sensing that likes to really squeeze the juice. Like when you have an experience, it really likes to kind of go back to it. And for an INP, learning about yourself through your experiences, it hits home a lot when they're able to learn about what it is that's important to them.
When NE is a little higher, the exciting part is the finding new connections, new meanings, recontextualizing, and sometimes even like you already squeezed the juice out of that experience, but like a week could pass and you're like thinking back and you're trying to find new meanings, new like interpretations from it. Whereas if SI is a little higher, you'll see the learning be a little bit more anchored. It's not as like trying to relearn something all the time. And there's a lot more detail also in terms of the actual experience.
Which actors inspired you to pursue your career?
Well, the initial one that I always say is Dakota Fanning and Denzel Washington.
Right, I
As a
remember
child.
this. Dakota was working before Elle, and like she went to school and she was a Girl Scout.
Really?
Yeah, she like had this normal life, which
Yeah.
made me really happy.
She took it to a
To
totally,
a totally different place.
Like, what was the original question? It was to Jenna, wasn't it?
Yeah, who
Like,
inspired?
Who inspired you? And she took it to like,
Did you know that Elle was a Girl Scout before?
so that's again, there's a few more clues on how she's very sweet, but sometimes she doesn't kind of see the awareness of maybe like that question was for Jenna to talk about something that inspired her, and she kind of lost the focus that was meant to be maybe for Jenna to answer. You've seen quite a few patterns of Winona being absolutely sweet, really adorable, but kind of not aware of the outside things she needs to also manage and take care of.
The thing I missed most was you.
Oh,
It's true. It's true. I miss you every day.
I know, it's awful. It's a terrible thing.
The way
to
she
hear, you
said
know?
that was so sincere and just like it had all the emotional impact in it.
I know, but she just does it so naturally.
If I did have the look, it would have been not really me. So I was kind of oddly perfectly happy being more of a character. Blue, to me, it's almost bruised. And I felt like she was going through a lot of emotional like bruising. It made the most sense and I identified with that.
The reason why Blue made the most sense because I identified with that was her reasoning.
I learned so much from them. They're also just really sweet. It was so influential on me as a person. And
See, she's talking about her emotions. I feel so lucky, blah, blah, blah. There's like words of emotions, but no actual expression of it spilling out. I mean, you could turn off the sound and you wouldn't know she was expressing emotions. And when people talk with emotions, there tends to be like variations in the way they'll slow down or elongate a word or kind of like make certain sentences or words have more impact. With Jenna, she's just really talking about how it made her feel, except like I said, there is no like light and shade to the way she's expressing herself at all.
But once we got on the set, didn't it feel
Yeah.
different? Because in every conversation with Tim,
Lydia, he was like,
yeah.
I didn't realize, that he had identified with her on the first one. I remember I read that. It made me emotional. And
Okay, I'm serious. Seriously, this is like very clear. The moment she opens her mouth, you can hear her about to cry.
Is there anything that you learned from Wednesday that you brought to Beetlejuice?
no.
Really?
No.
I really don't think so. A lot of what was based in Astrid was just kind of the experience that she had growing up, not being very close to her mom, losing her father, her parents getting divorced. There's just like a lot of resentment. I think she was just kind of mad at the world.
yeah.
I think she's actually quite a normal person, but I think sometimes that stress and not knowing where to put it is kind of where her nastiness came from. Where Wednesday, she just kind of she does it for the pleasure of it all.
right.
Yeah.
It's funny because like the question is like, what was a learning or connection from Wednesday, which is like a huge experience for her that you took to this experience? And she's like, no, it's actually a completely separate thing. And then meanwhile, Winona can make connections about like the littlest micro experiences and she just ties it in. Like every little experience, she's like, oh, let me like share like all the ways that's connected or what I learned or where I was before and now where I am now. And it's like, and Jenna's like, no, it was actually just a separate thing.
But I really like how Jenna broke the two characters down to a core in a way that helps you understand the two people differently.
Well, she fleshed out their perspective.
Yes,
They're this type of a person, and the other one's this type of a person.
it's a really good example, I think, of how NI can do that. It's looking at a pattern and then getting it down to like, well, what does it boil down to? She's actually explaining observations, what it's like to be this person.
And what it means, or the implications of it.
Jenna, the other day at Venice, like it was so powerful when you told Winona that she didn't have to take off her sunglasses.
That's great.
Oh.
Yeah, there was like, apparently we were viral.
No, I
They were
think you're probably aware of a
screaming.
lot.
Take them off. Take off your glasses.
Take the
Yeah.
glasses off, and I was like, and Jen's like, no, you don't have to do that, and it was amazing. Yeah.
That's a really good example of extroverted thinking inferior. There's a lot of feedback from the outside, a lot of feedback from people telling you, and it's like, what do I do? What do I do? And then you see Jenna just kind of like, no, you don't have to do that.
I love that.
Good. That's lovely. I know
I
it's
feel like
so
that's just
simple,
common.
doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it's so simple. That's nothing to praise or applaud. She didn't-
I
But
just-
the other two were like, that was amazing, Jenna.
and she's like, no, that's not what qualifies as like a good one, you know?
I remember I called him, and I was doing a movie, and I was like, and I realized I was like doing that to myself, like inside. But he was
Wow,
like,
Winona,
imagine
it seriously is every
you
single
as
time.
a little girl. And
It's not even subtle.
IPs are so funny. I think IPs, they do this pattern where they
Just talk about themselves.
self-reference, and it's just really funny.
If you like MBTI and analysis reaction content, Z and I have actually been releasing new videos on my membership almost every single week lately. Seriously, some of my best videos, favorite reactions, teaching videos, they're all on my membership, linked down below in the description. Supporting there really helps out the channel, and even if you just check it out for a month, I promise you'll be blown away by how many fun videos are there, including a 90-minute version of today's video if you guys had fun with this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next ones. Peace, peace. Bye.